my first love when it came to doing hair. When you start, I think the fundamentals are really good when you have your top, your sides, the mohawk, and then you split the back in two, right? It's good to do that for repetition work. It's good to do that for your speed. But once you get behind the chair, you don't want to do the same thing every single time. I was like putting 100 foils in somebody's head, and I was like, why do they all look the same? And also too, as a stylist, I felt I was losing my like creative side of that. So once I started doing extensions, I started working a lot with horseshoes, putting wefts in. So then I was like, okay, light bulb. Let's do that with color, right? That's kind of where this whole thing started from. I call this the 3 because it's 3 sections typically. If they have like a small amount of like density, you could do it in 2. You want to say, where is your middle? I've learned, because people always were going to say the middle, but it's usually not dead center. It's different every single time. Also, after that side part thing, people's middles would be like over here. So just say, where's your center part? Get that, and then just kind of naturally let it fall, especially this area. Like the crown, the hair is going to go in all different ways. So basically, first you're going to come this top, like just take a diagonal back here and just horseshoe this guy all the way around. And make sure this point is the same, because this is the money. This is where the money piece is. Come like there. Then also talking about like the experience, you want all of this to be like very clean. These guys I'll leave out because that's going to be its own. And then if you have them look down at that point, same thing, you're just going to make another horseshoe right here. Noticing that bottom one, that's going to be all your hairline detail, which is very important. And then doing this as well, when you are foiling, it's going to eliminate all those very weird holes that are missed. Usually, it's always in this area. So this is kind of connecting your sides and your back, which also will really help with your time. So once you get that good, not just good, once you get that great, okay? We're not just going to be good around here. Also notice too what I left out. This is obviously where I'm going to start. And the reason that is because typically you need to be lighter here and you need to be lighter under here. This is like where your money's at. When you do it like this as well, as far as your sectioning, everything is going to process at the same time. So the bottom will be the lightest, front will be the lightest, and then you can work your way up from there. So it really helps with the overall look as well, making it just more balanced and not breaking it up into different sides. When you are working with this bottom one, hairline detail is very important. So you can work this whole underneath part first and then drop this down, and that could be save your time because you can do that in one section. But a lot of times with foiling, a lot of these little details, especially behind the ear right here, is always left dark. So typically when I'm working under here, just a little preview of what I'll show you later, is I'm just going to naturally pull these hairs out. And then this is what I would foil. So when her hair comes up, it's beautiful. That's going to eliminate the whole problem of when I wear my hair back, I feel so dark. So, a lot of times people hate that. So doing that first with a low developer is going to be perfect. Then once we get into this section right here, sorry about that. Dun, dun, dun. Then this is, I would say, this section. This is where this is your make or break, because depending on a photo, you really want to determine how much light you're putting in. A lot of times, where I was saying in the past, you're going to overfoil. This is where that's going to happen. You, 9 times out of 10, want to leave depth right through here. That's what's going to make this top section really pop, because you're going to have that underneath, especially on a brunette. When I tend to look at a photo, or I'm teaching, or helping with some of the girls here, I should say, I always say, like, don't look typically where you see all that light. When I see a photo, I'm like, how much dark is in that picture? That's going to determine how much light I need to put in, and that will really help with the overfoiling process, I think. And it uses your creativity, but also then as well, back to timing and, being efficient, I could take this whole thing in one section with a foil that's not torn, right? So I don't have to put 5 foils here, 5 foils here. No, you can just do it in like 3 or 4. So it's very efficient as far as that goes. Same result, just half the time. And then once we get up top, this is what I call the hoe, okay? She is she's a little bit everywhere. Not hating, I'm for the hoe. But this is your make or break too, because the hoe section is in your top, your back, your sides, everywhere. This is typically where all of your cowlicks are gonna be too, so you don't ever wanna force anything to go. So just let her be a hoe, let her do her thing. So then you put that down, you foil that as well. Determining, the look that you're going for, you're gonna work that first. Then once all that's done, then you have right here. That's it, you'll connect it to your high point. So this we would foil first, like I said at the beginning, and then once you determine how high this color is gonna go up, once you lay this section down here, you just know nothing can go higher than that, and you go back from there. The sections are gonna lay a lot smoother because they're gonna be like slightly rounded, just like her hair. Nothing's gonna be forced at an angle or a back, it's gonna give you that fluidity, and it's gonna give them a nice grow out. So when they come back, you're like, girl, your hair still looks good. Why are you here? Kidding. Okay, that's it.